Shlomo from Tul Lebanon, Shlomo from Mount Lebanon. What is exactly the Syriac language? What are its characteristics? What is the difference between Syriac, Aramaic, and Gershuni? The entire region seen in this map was an Aramaic-speaking region with many different dialects and cultures, but only the upper part, highlighted in red, was the Syriac-speaking area. As we see in the map, this Syriac zone stretched from Canaan to Upper Mesopotamia. The language spoken here was Canaanite Aramaic, but during the Greek period it was Hellenized, and then during the Roman period it was Christianized. This Canaanite Aramaic, Hellenized and Christianized language needed a new name and a new Christian identity. The area highlighted in red was an administrative Roman province called Provincia Syria. So the Christians used this name to identify with their new language and identity. This is how this Hellenized and Christianized Canaanite Aramaic became the Syriac language. In the eastern part of the Syriac red zone, called Upper Mesopotamia, the language is Eastern Syriac, and in the western part, called Canaan, the language is Western Syriac. Western Syriac has something very specific, that is the letter Olaf, pronounced as an O. This particularity was noticed by the Jesuits, Father Flesch and then Father Jean Ocagne. They noticed that this O is very unique to Phoenician and to the Western Syriac language. And that appears precisely where the gemination, the shadda, disappears. And this gemination, or shadda, is fundamental in all Semitic languages, even in Eastern Syriac. Only Phoenician and its Christian version, Western Syriac, do not make use of the gemination and seem to replace it by an O on the following letter. And this is still the case today in North Lebanon. But Syriac has other particularities in comparison to Aramaic. It has its own alphabet, syntax, and grammar. For example, the plural in Aramaic would be in in, like tanurin, ainturin. In Syriac, plural is in e, like ilono, a tree, that becomes ilone. On the other hand, Syriac is a mix between Canaanite Aramaic dialect and Greek. This makes Syriac a modern language, capable of expressing philosophical concepts and scientific and modern terms. It is easy for a Lebanese to recognize the Syriac words with Greek origin, as they resemble French words like pedo, pied, foot, and pied is written with a D in French, clé, clé, the keys, esphiro, the sphere, phyre, fruits, museon, museum, theatron, theatre, hippodromos, the hippodrome, mathematiki, mathematics, grammatiki, grammar, lampido, a lamp, or the air, tupso, a type, philosophe, philosopher, geographia, geography, chronos, chronic, comino, cheminée, fireplace, a stove, tonos, tuna, machino, machine. Then we have ecclesiastical words like patriarcho, patriarch, episcopo, bishop, Eucharistia, Eucharist, liturgia, liturgy, eukno, icon. The question we often hear is, what is Gershuni? Gershom was the son of Moses. His name means in Hebrew to live there, as opposite of to live here. So it means the foreigner. Gershuni is therefore a foreign language, like Arabic, written in Syriac letters. Here is a document in which the title is in Gershuni because it reads in Arabic, and the rest is in Syriac, but the script is the same. What about the Syriac alphabet? The word alphabet is a Syriac word that comes from the Phoenician Olaf, Bet, the names of the two first letters. Syriac uses the Phoenician alphabet of 22 letters with its rules, like some letters that have a hard and a soft pronunciation, like the P that becomes an F after a vowel, the B becomes a V, and the K becomes a Ch. Here is the Phoenician alphabet, still used in Syriac. This is in Beirut's National Museum. Here we can see the evolution of the Phoenician script into three different Syriac scripts. The first line, under the Phoenician, is the monumental script, or capital letters called estrangelo. The last line is the cursive script called certo, and in between is the intermediate script called maden chaya. Here is the pater, our father, avun dvashmayo, written once in the monumental estrangelo and again in the small cursive script. Cursive script for the Maronites is certo, and for the Eastern Syriacs it is maden chaya. But the monumental script, called estrangelo, is the same for all Syriacs, whether Maronites or Eastern Syriacs. It unifies them. Since Syriac is an evolution of Canaanite Aramaic, it simply uses the same Phoenician alphabet, but in its different monumental and cursive scripts. Shlomo from Tul Lebanon, Shlomo from Mount Lebanon.